Live. I'm here with Joe and Sammy. My name is Matt, and today it's all about Week 8 in the NFL. There's been some crazy Week 8 developments in the NFL, and we are going to get all into it. But first things first, do all the things that we love as YouTubers, okay? Like, comment, subscribe, share the stream with your friends. It helps us out greatly. We appreciate it. Give us comments in the chat as well. We'll be responding to comments in the chat. I'll probably also be in the chat just shit-talking these other two gentlemen on the stream with me right now, so feel free to do that as well in the chat. But, gentlemen, listen. Week 8 has been crazy so far, and I want to start with a game that's not even done yet because it's pissing me off, because it's pissing my fantasy team off. It's the Dallas Cowboys, and it's the Denver Broncos, and we have some splaining to do collectively as a show here. And I'm going to kick it to Joe first on this game because, Joe, you shit on both teams for this game. You shit on the Broncos and you shit on the Cowboys. So I'm going to give you the floor for this one. Obviously, Broncos are running absolute roughshod over the Dallas Cowboys right now. So give me your thoughts on this Broncos-Cowboys demolition that we're seeing right now.
I mean, let's be fair, right? Like the Denver Broncos, if there was a game that the offense would get going on, it would be against the worst defense in the NFL. And it just happens to be that the Dallas Cowboys have the worst defense in the NFL. On the flip side of that, you see what happens when Dak Prescott turns the ball over a lot. Or, I think he's had 2 picks already in this game, and they just haven't been able to move the football. That's what happens when you have a good offense and no defense, Cowboys fans. You get absolutely rickrolled. Now, on the flip side of that, Broncos fans are going to hop in the comments of the videos we did and everything and be like, "Did you see how we just demolished the number one offense in the NFL?" Yeah, that's kind of what happens when a top offense meets a top defense. Usually the defense does better. So I don't think that this is anything great in the scheme of things. Name one time.
Not always the case. I can't name any off the top
exactly.
of my
You can't.
head.
You
Not
can't.
off the top of my head. But like,
usually, what happens is that if something's going to return to the mean, it's going to be the top offense, which is what happened here. 17 points with 4:53 left to go in the fourth quarter. They got absolutely destroyed by 27. It's 44-17 currently. So why are we surprised? Then again, this entire week has essentially been blowouts. Only one game was decided by less than 11 points, and it was the Jets' first win. Nuts. Absolutely insane, right? And just so we're clear, the Jets dropped 23 points in the fourth quarter to win that game. Wild.
You know what's crazy about that game? I had a game myself, and I just when I left, I just figured, the Jets are going to lose. And then halfway through the game, I checked my phone, and I was like, wait, the Jets won? I was like, How the hell did the Jets come back and beat the Bengals? And I was like, oh, wait, the Bengals have arguably the worst defense in the league themselves. So, yeah, that's probably how that works.
It's not even just that. Like Zach Taylor, so the Jets convert, right? They score a touchdown. It's a 27-yard touchdown run from Breece Hall, correct? They convert the 2-point conversion. They get the ball. First play, screen, incomplete. Clock stops. Second play, another incompletion. And then the third play, Flacco gets sacked because of course he does. The Cincinnati Bengals in this game ran for 181 yards. On top of that, Samaje Perine, 10 yards per carry. Chase Brown, 6 yards per carry. You didn't think to maybe once in that very pivotal drive to run the ball just once. Just
Zach
once.
Taylor, man.
You just had to pass up. Look, I get it. Get the ball in your best player's hands. I completely understand that. Jamar Chase's hands on your best player. If you're running the ball at a very high rate, correct, Matt? They were running the ball at a pretty high rate, right, Joe? They were running the ball at a pretty high. I'd say pretty high. 10 yards per carry. They were running the ball at a pretty high rate. And you're up in the fourth quarter. Why are you going to Shanahan it? Why would you do that?
Because it's Zach Taylor.
Why would you do that? Zach Taylor, I've been saying, I feel like I've been preaching this for the longest time.
We've been on this train for a long time, Sammy. We've been on this for a long time.
It's so dumb, bro. And it makes me upset. It makes me upset because now the Jets are tied with us. I was like, oh yeah, the Jets are gonna be winless. We're gonna have 2 wins. But no, of course.
You got them by 1, don't you?
Oh yeah, we
won today. He's not used to winning. He's not used to winning, people. That's why he doesn't know that they have 2 wins. He doesn't know they have 2.
Fins up, baby. Fins up. When can we talk about my Dolphins? When are we going to
go for it, bro.
Yeah,
go for it right now.
Yo, one eye Tua torched Atlanta, okay? He torched them, and it was so fun to watch. Big Kirko couldn't do a damn thing. Where was Bijan Robinson today? Did you hold on, is he under here? No, he's not under there anyway. Is he in the sky? No, he was nowhere to be found. I think he had like 25 rushing yards.
And a fumble.
We have the worst, we have the worst rushing defense in the entire league. The worst one. And you guys have a top 5 rushing What is it? What is it? A top 5 rushing offense in the entire league? Am I right in saying that? Oh no, they're not even top 5. They're actually 11th. Never mind. Maybe I was. They have Bijan Robinson. Okay?
They're garbage.
Okay, that's all that needs to be said. They have Bijan Robinson. Kamani Vidal was able to run on us. Rico Dowdle was able to run on us. I'm not saying they're bad players. I'm just saying they're not Bijan Robinson. So the fact, I'm not going to do that again. So the fact that we were able to maintain Bijan Robinson to contain him, over the moon. Now, can we build upon this win? Can we build upon it? I have the answer. And it's yes.
Oh my God, he's back on the train.
He's back
on the train.
Back.
Yes, we are. We are so back, gentlemen. I am back. I am on this train. We are going to win. We're going to go on our first winning streak, and it starts this Thursday. I cannot wait. It's going to be so fun. Right, guys?
Sammy, can I tell you what I took away from this game real quick? Can I tell you what I took away from this game?
Parade, bro. Don't ruin my hat.
No, it has nothing to do with your Dolphins. Michael Penix Jr. is the MVP. How about that? MVP. They lose by 4 touchdowns without Michael Penix Jr. at quarterback.
My God,
he's the MVP of the league.
It was 3 touchdowns and a field goal, all right?
Oh, sorry. My bad. Get absolutely smoked without QB1. Drake London wasn't there too. That also also had an effect on the game. But still, okay, Michael Penix Jr. is not there, and he get absolutely smoked with Kirk O'Chains.
Like that. They're a running team. Bijan Robinson runs that offense. We all know
he catches the ball. He catches the ball too. I think he's still on pace for over 1,000 and 1,000. So
he runs the offense, man. Without Bijan Robinson, that team. Well, actually, when it comes to facing the Dolphins, Michael Penix Jr. might be the MVP because Bijan Robinson could do anything today. So, yeah, I'm concerned about Raheem Morris. He might be on the hot seat after this year.
I'm concerned. I've seen a lot of videos about Zach Robinson too. I don't think he's running that offense optimally either. They go pistol a lot, which like nobody else in the league goes pistol, and it affects basically everything with their offense. So I'm just not sold on Raheem Morris or Zach Robinson. I think they need. I love the pieces on the team. I think the roster is really good in Atlanta. I love the defense has improved a lot. The offense, obviously, the offensive line got a little bit banged up. Penix and Drake London missed this game, so I wouldn't take too much into it if you're Atlanta. But they definitely, in my opinion, they definitely do need a new offensive coordinator and maybe a head coaching change after this year. But Joe, listen, Sammy just got the gloat about his boy, and I want to say something right now. If we voted on MVP after week 8 each and every season, which obviously we don't, and we wait till the end of the season to vote for awards because that's how awards work. But if we voted on MVP after week 8, Drake May is the MVP of the league. Yes or no?
God, I'm wearing a Patriots hat, so I feel like if I say yes, it's a homer pick. If I say no, I'm saying no just so it's not a homer pick, right?
You're hating right now. It's literally, I think he gets my vote, he gets Matt's vote, and he should get your vote. What's going on here? What's the hesitation?
I mean, I want him to be. Yeah, absolutely. He's playing out of his mind. The touch on the passes, the mobility, the plus plays, everything's there, right? I like it. But, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, they haven't really played anybody, all these other things. But if you go purely numbers, yeah, Drake May is 100% in the conversation to be the midway season MVP. I think that there's going to be some conversations about some other people, right? Like there's definitely going to be talks about, Patrick Mahomes early on played out of his mind, trying to carry that team through, and it really wasn't there, but they're starting to get everyone back. You're starting to see him start to get up there again. So Patrick Mahomes always being in that conversation. Danny Dimes has looked good. Jonathan Taylor, by the way,
I was going to
should put his name in there because Jesus, that man is single-handedly ensuring the Indianapolis Colts are going to have a playoff run. And Daniel Jones is absolutely thriving, allowing a number 1 running back to do the bulk of the load there. So, yeah, I think you got to give Jonathan Taylor his flowers as well there. So I'm not fully sold on Drake May because Jonathan Taylor is probably he's going to have one of those 2,000-yard seasons it feels like right now, and probably I'm going to put it over 20 touchdowns easy.
Yeah, he's going off. He's going crazy. And whoever you want to pick from that Colts offense, Daniel Jones obviously deserves some love as well from that Colts offense. And by the way, I'm pretty sure that game just went final 38-14 was the score there. I'm pretty sure my score prediction on the live on Friday was 38-13. I'm gonna go back and double check that, but I almost
I think you
nailed that score prediction.
Yep.
Not saying much because we all knew that game was gonna go like that, but still. But back to Drake May. I mean, listen, like we talked about this before this 3-game stretch versus bad teams after the Buffalo game, Joe. I was nervous about this 3-game stretch against these bad teams because this was to show, hey, are we for real? Like, because we beat Buffalo, biggest win that we've had since basically the Super Bowl that we beat the Rams. It was a long time since we had a win that big. Now can we sustain it? We got the win the next week over the Saints. Obviously, beat the Titans. Titans aren't a good football team, and we talked about it on the live on Friday, Joe. We were nervous about this game on Friday because this Browns defensive line could ruin the game, and Myles Garrett did 5 sacks from Myles Garrett. He was absolutely unbelievable, going crazy against, like, Will Campbell had nothing for him. Even when we doubled him, we had nothing for Myles Garrett the whole game. That guy is just the best defensive player on the planet. It's really plain and simple. That's how good Myles Garrett is. But the fact we were able to overcome that, the fact that I thought Josh McDaniels called it an absolutely outstanding game on the offensive end as well. Drake threw the one bad pick, obviously, to Schlesinger, but other than that, he was flawless. You see the completion percentage again, 75% completions in this game today. The run game started to get going. We saw some Travion Henderson signs in this game as well. I don't know, man. I just don't know how Drake May cannot be the MVP of the league through week 8. It's just been an unbelievable. This is the dream start for Patriots fans. Like it could not have been any better than this through 8 weeks for New England Patriots fans. And I'm freaking here for it, man. I'm freaking here for it. Let's go, man.
Can we also acknowledge that great pass rushers waste away on shit teams?
Well,
yeah.
Real quick, Myles Garrett did this to himself. He requested a trade in the offseason.
He did do it.
He requested.
He's earning that contract though.
Well, for sure.
He's playing up to it.
But he requested a trade in the offseason. He said, I want to go to a contender. And the Browns were like, here's a giant bag of money. He's like, okay, I'll stay with the Browns. But like now you can't bitch about being with a shitty team. Like you can't bitch about it anymore. Like you decided I'm taking the most money I can possibly take to stay with Cleveland. And now this is what you get. You get 5 sacks in a game and you still lose by 3 touchdowns. Like that's what you get, Myles Garrett. So again, we all understand he's the greatest defensive player on the planet, but it's also like you said, Joe, he's wasting away in Cleveland right now. It's a damn shame.
It really is. And you think about it too, like, we watched JJ Watt waste away in Houston. We were watching Myles Garrett waste away in Cleveland. Not as prolific, but still a really good, pass rusher. And Ryan Kerrigan wasted away in Washington. We just watched. I mean, you just watch these guys who are 95 and a half, 100 sack guys in their career, 100 plus, in their career, waste away on teams that just have no business holding on to these guys. And, whether they should have been traded or shouldn't have signed an extension, whatever it is, I'm just so sick and tired of watching these all-star pass rushers, right? These all-pro guys, these perennial Pro Bowlers, right? Consistently be handcuffed to bad franchises. Trey Hendrickson is right there. Thank God Micah Parsons found his way out. Because that defense is terrible, and I don't think it would have mattered if he was still there, right? And you just consistently see this happen. I mean, another one right now that you got to consider is Simmons down in Tennessee, in Nashville.
Jeffrey Simmons. Well, there were years where Jeffrey Simmons was productive, and that team made some deep playoff runs.
Yeah, but that was Mike Vrabel. There, right? That was.
Let's be honest. Tennessee kind of did that themselves. If Jeffrey Simmons had the opportunity, he'd want to leave.
Yeah,
he'd want to leave because Mike Vrabel's not there.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, but you see it all the time, and it's like absolutely terrible things. And I'm done with it, man. I'm so tired of watching these guys have to ball out for just poverty franchises, man.
Yeah, and Drake May to everybody, to your point, Matt. Like it's like this kind of second year leap is very common. It's happened before. And I think it was also very predictable because they upgraded at receiver. They got a better head coach, right? They got Josh McDaniels. I mean, this is one of the more predictable leaps that everybody could have seen. Like, this is one of the more predictable leaps. Drake May's been the best player and the best QB of that draft class. And I kind of want to segue to another QB that really has disappointed since then. Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
How much time are we giving this guy? it's year two. It's year two, right? So I'm not going to like say, oh, pull the plug at all. Definitely not in year two. I'm not saying like, and now it's ironic because I was complaining about JJ McCarthy. I think with Caleb Williams is different because Caleb Williams has shown flashes and flashes and flashes of brilliance, right? We've seen it. But it feels like the offense just is not going. It doesn't feel like a Ben Johnson offense, even though they're winning. Like they're winning games. Like, they're 4-3 right now. It's definitely not the end of the world that they lost this game. Not at all. However, I mean, in this game, and let me just go ahead and pull up the stats so I'm not like getting this skewed by any means. He had 285 passing yards, which is cool. Nope, he had one interception at a 77.2 passer rating. It just feels like it's empty. Like everything is empty with this Bears offense, and it's so like it makes no sense because the weapons that Caleb has to work with, right? The line is a little bit is better this year. So what's the problem? What's going on? Like what are we waiting for? Why isn't this offense hitting the ground and running? I understand it's year one, so we can be patient for sure. But at some point, I think we all thought that Caleb Williams would make a similar leap that Drake May would make. I think we all thought that, and we're
even more so, yeah.
Yeah, and we're in week 8, and it doesn't feel like Caleb Williams has shown really anything crazy, like the generational. I know we throw that term around, generational talent that we all thought he would be, or some people.
Yeah, I think with Caleb, his main thing is he's trying to what's the word for that? He's trying to remove all of the bad habits that basically he had at USC and then he had last year in his first year with the Bears with Matt Eberflus. Because right now when you watch him, and I didn't get to watch the game today, so I'm speaking from ignorance as far as his performance today, but just from what I've seen from Caleb Williams so far this season, he either spams the check down because he doesn't want to push the ball downfield. He's nervous. He got sacked so many times last year. He doesn't want to get sacked anymore, or he's super erratic and he throws the deep ball down the field. So he for me, you and then two, you'll see him try to just get out of the pocket too fast and try to overplay make at times as well. And he obviously can. He's got the ability to. Like you see him, he's got the speed. He's obviously got the arm talent. He can throw from multiple angles. He's got plenty of talent to do so. I think he's just learning more how to actually play the game of football right now. And Ben Johnson's trying to get all of those bad USC, all of those bad first year with Matt Eberflus habits out of him. And you see it at times. You can see it. He's much more polished this year than he was last year, but it's just very, very up and down right now from Caleb Williams. So again, I was really big on the Bears preseason because I thought Caleb Williams would be a little bit more polished, but he's still just having those kind of second year ups and downs that, you expect him to have figured out by now.
Getting outplayed by Tyler Huntley is I get it.
Unacceptable.
I understand, it's not a team sport. It's not a 1v1. Okay. These QBs are not like dueling and hitting step back jumpers on each other like some Eagles fans might think. But the reality is that you can't get outplayed by a backup. You can't get outplayed. A backup QB cannot play better than you. Especially since if we're being blunt, the Bears have better weapons. They have a better offensive head coach. And the Baltimore Ravens defense is depleted. Really, no excuse. Caleb Williams.
They got some guys. They got some guys back today, but yeah, the defense still hadn't been good. But I do want to take this real quick from a Ravens perspective because this was a big win for the Ravens today. Especially we thought Lamar was going to play the whole week. We assumed Lamar was going to play the whole week, and then kind of at the last minute, the Baltimore the Ravens announced that it was going to be Tyler Huntley. And then I know once I heard it was Tyler Huntley, I went into our pick step and I was like, "Whoa, I'm picking the Bears now." Like it's Bears are winning, but sure enough, they win 2 touchdown, big win. Obviously, they're still 2-5, but like I said, I think this team is gonna, like I said on the live on Friday, I think this team is gonna make a run and start stacking some of these wins. But Joe, what do you think? What do you think about this Ravens Bears game and everything Ravens and Caleb Williams related?
Well, I mean, let's be fair. The Ravens did exactly what they should do. How many touches did Derrick Henry get today?
21.
21. And they got a dub. Imagine that. Imagine that. 2 touchdowns, 21 touches, 71 total yards. Not great yards per carry.
Let me be OC, bro. I'm telling you. I'd be a great offensive coordinator. Give the ball to Derrick Henry.
Turn around and hand the ball to Derrick Henry. Don't ask your backup quarterback to do too much. Right? Not a hard recipe for success. right? Control the clock, keep the offense out there, keep them ahead of the chains. Not difficult. You get a win. It's all the Ravens have had to do pretty much since they signed Derrick Henry. We've told them that. We've talked about it all the time, right? That's all they had to do. Chicago Bears, from the Bears' perspective, I mean, you guys said it pretty much to the T. Caleb Williams is kind of head-scratching at times. It almost seems like he's either slow on his progressions or he's not seeing the field as clearly. A lot of the times he rolls out of the pocket when he doesn't have to your point, Matt, and he basically cuts the field in half for himself. And, you know, where there is talent out there for him to throw to, and there are a lot of players out there. Rome Odunze is having a great year. He had 114 yards in this game, 16.3 average. But there's no passing touchdowns, right? Your only touchdown in the game came from DeAndre Swift. On the offensive side of the ball, who had 11 carries, 45 yards. He's dealing with an injury. DJ Moore, there was a pass in the back of the end zone where all Caleb had to do is put some touch on it. DJ Moore standing alone. Like, he's alone in the back of the end zone at the end of that game. It probably doesn't change the outcome, but you make it closer at least. You give yourself a chance. He just lasered that ball clear out of the reach of DJ Moore. DJ Moore didn't have a Raven around him. Absolutely missed him. So, I mean, you see this sort of sporadic play that you're talking about, the inability to kind of put that touch on the ball and make those intermediate throws where we thought he was going to excel. And to your point, like, it seems to be check down or deep ball, but there doesn't seem to be a lot going on in the middle part of the field, right? Is where he seems to struggle at identifying coverages, identifying openings, and throwing with anticipation. So those are things, to your point, that have kind of been instilled in him because of bad coaching, bad situations. And it goes to show you sort of what happens. We were talking about Drake May a second ago. What happens when you get competent offensive coordinators around a player to excel? And I think that we can say it. Josh McDaniels is a great offensive coordinator. Ben Johnson is trying to get this team on track. And so far, they look better than they have in years past from an offensive standpoint. I mean, I expect them. I picked the Bears when I knew Lamar was possibly going to be back in this game because I thought the Bears defense and the way their offense had been playing was going to be better than the way the Baltimore Ravens were going to be playing, regardless if Lamar is back or not. Sure enough, Tyler Huntley comes out and balls out, and Derrick Henry gets 21 touches, and the Bears lose this game. And it just goes to show you, like, you look at the Bears, and it's like, I can't trust you as far as I could throw you. You know what I mean? Like, it's a conundrum because, to your point, Rome Odunze, DJ Moore, Colson Levin, Olamide Zaccheaus, DeAndre Swift, Luther Burden III, who we all thought was going to get, unleashed in this offense. And yet it seems each week we're just waiting for it to take the next step, waiting for Ben Johnson to show up and show this offense to start to click. And it just hasn't happened.
How patient are we going to get, guys? How patient are we going to be? Like, because obviously,
I mean, it's got to be 4 years, right? You got to come up to the 5th year adoption pick.
I agree. It's just the NFL's changed so much where, like, year 3, year 4, like, it's really make or break, right?
What do you mean by how much time are we going to give them? Like, are they moving off Caleb Williams? Is that what you're saying?
No, like how far? Not moving off, because I don't think they're going to move off Caleb Williams. He's the number 1 overall pick. But how far until we admit, like, okay, he is who he is? Like, we can't expect top 5. We can't expect top 10.
It's hard to admit that now at this point because we've seen all of these top 10 picks who are in certain situations, then they leave those situations and they end up way better. We see it with Baker Mayfield. We see it with Daniel Jones. We see it with Geno Smith. We see it with all of these guys who have left situations and Sam Darnold, obviously, all these guys who have gotten better.
No? This feels a bit different, no? Because, I mean, who did the Bears hire? The Bears hired Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson is supposedly, well, you know what I'm going to say? Supposedly, this amazing offensive mind. So we put our stocks very high on Ben Johnson. Okay. So are we going to, if Caleb Williams is not successful, are we going to put that on Ben Johnson then? Or is Ben Johnson not working with the right QB?
I mean, they're both gonna deserve blame. I mean, because we thought Caleb Williams was generational talent, and we thought Ben Johnson was a generational offensive mind. So that's the reason why I picked them to win the division preseason, was because you compare a generational talent with a generational offensive mind. It should produce fireworks, and we have not seen. We've seen flashes, like you've mentioned, Sammy. We've seen flashes of those fireworks, but it just has been so up and down, so inconsistent. It's just been really frustrating to watch for someone who I'm a USC fan as well for my college college football team. So I've been very high on Caleb Williams from the start. So it's been very frustrating for me to watch the dynamic of that. But like you mentioned, I mean, we at a certain point, we may have to adjust our expectations for Caleb Williams and for Ben Johnson, because right now it just hasn't been in sync and it just hasn't looked good for. But I want to shift to a game that we saw a tragic injury. Gentlemen, a tragic injury in this game to one of the young and upcoming running backs in the NFL. We saw Cam Scatterbo go down to a nasty ankle dislocation that just completely ruined the entire momentum for the New York Giants. Obviously, we saw them lose 38-20 today to the Philadelphia Eagles. A game that we all kind of saw going like that. I think we all figured that that Philly would get back on track and get a win against the Giants, but we didn't want to see something like that. So, fellas, what do you guys take away from that game, from the Giants and the Eagles?
I mean, I watched that game, watched it closely, and I thought the Giants were in it early. My problem is, and this obviously is just two plays, but we need to be more consistent on exactly when the hell forward progress is stopped. This is a real thing. This is a problem. This seems to be some sort of unknown exactly what institutes forward progress being stopped, because it was a bang play in this situation where Jalen Hurts is stopped short in the tush push, gives an extra effort to reach the ball across, and almost, you could snap your fingers, gets it torn away from him. And the Giants recover that football. And there were no whistles. There was nothing there that showed you that. And they just said, oh no, forward progress was stopped. That's not a fumble. How can forward progress be stopped when he had just made that line and got the ball torn away from him? And then last year, you remember, I forget the game, but Ramondre Stevenson gets stopped at the line of scrimmage and gets pushed back 3 yards and then begins to move laterally and gets the ball punched out, and the defense recovers in the red zone, and somehow that's a fumble, when he was literally 3 yards behind with a guy hanging on him from where his most forward progress was. So forward progress seems to be something that in the NFL we have not fully defined, or the referees at least don't fully understand, because there is no way that is not a fumble in that Eagles-Giants game. The Giants got that ball. That is a fumble. Giants fans, you got screwed. Again, this is another game where referees missed a couple calls. There was they called it a neutral zone infraction. Same drive, I believe. Neutral zone infraction. The left tackle clearly jumps, drawing the man off, drawing the defensive end off sides, and the refs absolutely missed that one as well. There were multiple people outraged in this game, believing that the refs were the reason that the Giants lost this game. No, you lost this game because even if you prevent that 7 points, you still lost by 11. So let's be fair. There's more to it than that, but at the same time, it's a major momentum shift. The Eagles go for a tush push, 4th down in the red zone, and you strip the ball away from them. That's 7 points. They got 7 points on that drive, right? So right there's a 7-point swing minimum, and you just can't have that, especially in divisional games. I know the Giants aren't in this division right now. They would, even if they won, you're 3-5 to 5-3. No one really picked you to win this game, especially now you lost Scatterbo. You don't have neighbors. Nothing's going your way right now this year, Giants fans. But when you're watching that as a fan, how could you not be upset? Right? Now, granted, Saquon Barkley popping off for like 40-yard touchdowns doesn't do any favors. I mean, he only had to touch the ball 14 times to get 150 rushing yards and 1 touchdown. So that's a problem. But yeah, I mean, watching this game, I had to feel in my feels for the Giants fans, man. That was rough to watch.
It was rough, but it didn't stop the Eagles from rushing for over 200 something yards. Like it was really bad for the Giants.
Rush offense looked back for Philly. That'd been a big problem for them all year.
And that's something that we got to keep an eye on. Granted, the Giants rushing defense isn't very good. So I think that they got a great defensive line, but for whatever reason, the rush defense hasn't really gelled together as much as it should be. Also, Jalen Hurts, 4 passing touchdowns. He's having back-to-back games where he's incredibly efficient. Back-to-back games where he's been really good. Nope, absolutely not. 141.5 passer rating. He's been very good, very good. Unfortunately, this game is gonna get clouded from the fact that the fumble, obviously, and the false start. But the Eagles outplayed the Giants easily. That they dominated time of possession, had more first downs. In the red zone, they were perfect. 276 rushing yards is just too much to overcome. 8 yards per carry. Their backup had over 100.
I think Bigsby popped off. He
Tank
was
Bigsby
dragging
was going
dragging players.
And they didn't run the ball that much. They ran it like 21 times between two. They ran it like under
23 times between Saquon Barkley and Tank Bigsby for 100 or 254 yards.
I will say this though. I will say this. Here's my opinion. They are going to ban this play, the tush push. They are going to ban it after this year.
Yeah, they will.
It's gone. And it has nothing to do. I see a lot of Eagles fans saying that, oh, they want to just punish innovation. They want to punish teams for creating incredible plays. Let me be blunt here, okay? We're not punishing you because it's innovative. It is a very innovative play. And I personally said we shouldn't ban the tush push whatsoever. I was 1,000% for the tush push. But this year in particular, there have been way too many plays where the officials don't get the call right. This game right here, they're going to highlight as a reason this play is banned. Jalen Hurts, they do the tush push, and because of the fact that the tush push is such a quick play, it ends so quickly, they didn't catch the fumble. And if I'm being completely honest, it's something that unfortunately we can't keep in this league. We can't. For the integrity of the game, we can't keep it. I know that's very dramatic for me to say. For the integrity of like the game, they can't keep it. They have to get rid of it. The officials don't know how to officiate it. I know, why blame the officials and not us? Exactly. But if the officials can't get it right and it's week 8 and we still can't get it right, guys, let's be honest, it's over. Okay,
yeah.
It's over. It's over.
Yeah,
it's over. It's getting banned. It's gone. It's not because I'm salty. I'm not salty because of it. I wanted the play to stay. I thought it was a big staple of Philadelphia football. I thought it was great for the NFL that there was a play that everybody was like, that a team is synonymous for, that got mainstream appeal. That's great for the league. That's awesome for the league. However, the officials can't officiate it. They can't officiate it, and that's the bottom line. And we can't have a play like that in the league.
No. Yeah, I'm really indifferent to whether they keep it or not, but if they keep it, like you said, Sammy, they have to find. I don't know how the officials need like a tush push summit. Like you gotta meet in like Cabo or something like that and be like, okay, this is how we are officiating the tush push. Every single NFL official. Like I don't know what. Like I just like you said, it's just so. There's so many things that go into it. Are they false starting every time? You know, what's going on?
Like neutral zone.
Yeah, so I think the easiest thing for the NFL to do is just cut it and just be like, you know what, let's just not let this play happen anymore, and let's move on. But speaking of moving on, there's another game that I want to talk about because this is a game that I got wrong on our live on Friday, and it's a game that I thought would go the complete other direction, and that's the Texans and the 49ers. The Houston Texans' big win over the San Francisco 49ers, 26-15. We saw CJ Stroud in this offense, an offense that I figured would have absolutely zero hope with no Nico Collins, with no Christian Kirk. Looked way, way better than I anticipated it looking, and they win, and they move to 3-4, while the San Francisco 49ers drop a game and go down to 5-3. So, fellas, what were your takeaways here from this Houston and San Francisco game?
Texas defense did what Texas defense does. 15 points. Well, their average is 14.7. So, I mean, if you're there, that's what this game is. This is that. If you want to look at this game from any perspective, the Houston Texans defense is legit. Doesn't matter who they're facing. They're not giving up 15 or more than 15 points. It's just not happening. They play very solid defense. They have a very stout front seven. The secondary is very, very good. You're not going to have a lot of easy yards, a lot of easy completions, a lot of easy running lanes against this team. If the offense can figure it out, which, by the way, it looked like they were on their way to do it. I mean, CJ Stroud threw for 318 yards and 2 touchdowns today. They may just be on their way back to solidly the wild card conversation because, honestly, I don't think they're catching the Colts. I just don't. I think that they might steal a game from the Colts now.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we're going to be talking about at the end of the season possibly if this offense keeps coming along. They just looked in sync. They looked good. It was probably the best offensive game I have seen from CJ Stroud in a hot minute. Like he looked comfortable. He was moving well. The ball was coming out on time. He was finding the open receivers. His reads were progressing well. If that happens and this defense can play this way, this is a team that's a dark horse alert coming out of the wild card, because no one wants to see that defense rolling in come playoff time.
What if I picked this team to upset the Colts in the division? What if I did that, huh? What if
Do it.
What if I did that?
Great for the show.
Stand on business.
Great
10
for
toes.
the show.
I'm a coward. I'm gonna go ahead and wait on it. I'm gonna wait on it because the Texans are still under 500, and I haven't gotten any new information. This is only one game, okay? This is only one game. We're not gonna and they beat a team that is very, very injury riddled. So we can't, even though the Niners have been pretty impressive, regardless of injuries anyway. So I'm not gonna take away from the Texans. Here's what I'll say. The Texans offense, it's really relying on CJ Stroud to get it humming, and the offensive line rather to get it humming. It's really relying on that, right? If this offensive line is not good, there's no chance. There is no chance. But if it's even okay, you give CJ Stroud one extra second, then he can 1000% turn it back to that top 10 QB. We've seen it. We have literally seen it. Okay. Still don't agree with the move to trade away Laramie Tunsil, but if this team can just give him one extra second. Look, man, this Texans team, if they sneak into the wild card, nobody's gonna want to play them just because of D'Amico Ryan's defense.
I mean, you look at
and when you look at
faced, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, their schedule's legit. Rams, Bucks. The Jags have looked, up and down a little bit, but they've beat some good teams. Titans and Ravens were both washes. Seahawks and Niners. That is a rough schedule. And now they got the Broncos, Jags, before they get an easy one against the Titans, but it's in Tennessee. Then they get the Bills, Colts, Chiefs, Cardinals, who we've seen, right? Then they get the Raiders, another easy one. And then they go to LA for the Chargers and finish the season off with the Colts. Like, this is probably, looking at how the teams they faced are playing right now, the hardest schedule in the NFL. This feels painful. This is pain every week.
They're in a rough spot, but like if they play like they played today, they're going to give themselves an opportunity, because just looking up and down this box score, first downs, they almost doubled up the Niners in first downs, 23-12. Total plays, they ran 75 plays and the Niners ran 44. So the time of possession was 41-18. They had the ball for over 2/3 of this game. They absolutely dominated them in time possession. You look at the total yards, 475 to 223. They had 250 more yards in this game, over doubled them in total yards as well. They ran the football well as well with Woody Marks and Nick Chubb as well, over 150 yards rushing. So if they can get that run game going to complement CJ Stroud, and like you mentioned, Sammy, if you can give him a little bit of time, we've seen CJ Stroud be one of the best quarterbacks in football. So yeah, this is a Texans team that, despite a really rough schedule, if they can continue to perform like they performed, they're going to have a real shot. But another team, fellas, that's going to have a real shot. We saw them absolutely demolish the Carolina Panthers today. The Buffalo Bills, 40-9. Good Lord. Welcome back to the NFL, Andy Dalton. You get the Buffalo Bills and you get 40 points dropped on your head. And James Cook absolutely demolishes any fantasy team that was in his wake. Over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, an absolutely amazing performance from James Cook and these Buffalo Bills against the Carolina Panthers. But fellas, any takeaways from this game, Bills and Panthers?
I don't even know. I mean, this is kind of like what I thought it would be close. I'll be honest. I thought it would be close. I was wrong. This Bills team. Look, man, this is a good look. In my opinion, this is a pretty impressive win. I know the Panthers were without Bryce Young. I know they were without I know they're without Bryce Young, right? And that's pretty important to especially Carolina. But if I'm being completely honest, man, like coming into this game, the Carolina Panthers are 4-3, right? If I'm Carolina, I'm at home. I'm feeling good. Hey, we might be able to compete with this team. And yeah, no, no. The rushing success that the Panthers had in the past, It was gone. It was gone. They only gave Rico Dowdle 8 carries.
8 touches.
And he rushed for 54 yards. They gave
Chuba
and he's
Hubbard
so
12.
much better too. Like watching the
And-
game, he's so much better. It's
I'll be
unbelievable.
completely blunt. They paid Chuba Hubbard. They brought in Rico to be the backup. And right now we have a bit of a running back controversy. I know we talk about QB controversies. We're having a bit of a running back controversy because very evident and very clear when you watch the games that Rico Dowdle is better. He's better.
Yeah, there's no other way to say it. He's just better.
They paid Chuba. So it's like now it's like the Panthers feel like they have
Trade deadline coming up.
Yeah, that's something to keep an eye on.
But the running back position is not a place a lot of people like to spend money.
Hey man, a lot of maybe the what team needs a running back? I'm thinking about it. A significant.
I heard Kansas City rumors.
Kansas City.
They're searching.
God, bro. Why
They're
is
searching
Kansas
so
City linked
bad.
to everything. Kansas City's literally linked to every single.
We hate it. Yeah.
Those frauds, man. What the heck? Get it yourself.
Hopefully we should try to link Kansas City to that NBA gambling scheme that's going on. I think we should try to find a way to get them involved with that. Yeah. How can
generate
we get Kansas City
some
involved
evidence?
and in trouble? Yeah.
We can link that to Travis Kelce. We can do
maybe.
that. We can
Taylor
do that.
Swift performed and Travis Kelce was a guest of honor in it. I heard it here first. No, but you look at this game, right? And James Cook's stat line makes you just that's what ran this game away. But I want to kind of talk about Josh Allen in this game a little bit. The stat line's not really crazy. Granted, you're like, oh, James Cook ran the ball well, but if you watch the game, Josh Allen is missing a wide receiver one, and it's clear as day. He's trying to force a lot of throws. 12 of 19, 163, 8.6 a clip, 1 touchdown, 2 sacks. But you watch him out there, and you can tell that he's just not. His guys aren't getting open. You're not seeing the throwing lanes quite as smooth as you were when you had Stephon Diggs, and those guys are sort of winning those matchups pretty consistently. I don't think he looks out there and sees a guy that he can trust. I mean, Khalil Shakir had a good game this week, but it's against a lowly Carolina defense that really hasn't been doing that well. And you kind of look at it, and it was apparent in the Patriots game as well. You don't see the crispness. You don't see the wide receivers winning those one-on-ones as much. And I don't think, this is something that we used to say about the New England Patriots. No one fears any of these wide receivers. Like, no one fears Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir. There's Elijah Moore. No one's afraid of these guys, right? You don't have that true number one. A lot of people have been calling for DeAndre Hopkins to possibly go here as a trade deadline move. I don't know how much he has left in the tank, honestly. There's just a lot of questions right now, and you don't have that clear number one guy. And it's really, really going to hold this team back. Like I said, James Cook, it balled out. And when James Cook pops off like this, you're going to have opportunities to win football games. But that's not going to work when you get into, the playoffs and you start facing some of these teams where, granted, running the football is key to winning. But at the same time, you need to be able to throw the football a little bit as well. And right now, I don't really see that happening with this Buffalo Bills receiving core. And Josh Allen is paying the price for it, who I had as my MVP candidate early on, before the season started.
Me too. Yeah, and like you mentioned, Joe, with this receiving core, and this is something that I talked about. It was when we were doing NBA on a previous platform, and this shot was way more disrespectful than I intended it to this particular player. But it was when Julius Randle was still on the Knicks, and I was like, if you're facing the Knicks and you're going into Madison Square Garden and your number one option is Julius Randle, no one's like, oh no, I can't. We got to face the Knicks with Julius Randle. That's kind of how it feels with the Buffalo Bills receiving core right now. It's like, oh no, Keon Coleman and Khalil Shakir, like, slow down. I was like, oh man, we're in so much trouble. It's like we can slow these guys down. Like, we have no problem doing that. So if we can get up in them, if we can press them, and we can, go man to man against them, and throw the timing off with Josh Allen and Shakir, throw the timing off with Keon Coleman and Josh Allen, we're gonna give these guys problems. And then two, if we have a good run defense and we can shut down James Cook a little bit, Josh Allen is gonna have to be Superman, which is what we talked about on previous videos. And if Josh Allen has to be Superman, we're gonna see some of that old Josh Allen that was was turning the ball over a little bit too much, fumbling a little bit too much, taking a little bit too many risks when maybe he shouldn't have, and that's when the Buffalo Bills get themselves into trouble. So yeah, obviously an amazing win today for Buffalo, 40-9. Can't be too disappointed with a 31-point win on the road. But like you mentioned, Joe, there are some concerns still with this Buffalo Bills team. But speaking of concerns, Joe, this is a game that I got wrong, and it's your boy. Your boy got benched, Joe. Spencer Rattler.
He did.
In a 23-3 loss to the Tampa Bay Bucks. It's a game that me and Sammy both went out on a limb and predicted that the Tampa Bay Bucks would get upset. And sure enough, we are the ones upset because they had absolutely no chance to lose this game because the New Orleans Saints are trash. But Joe, you got some splaining, bro. Spencer Rattler gets benched. What do you have to say?
I mean, I don't even feel like Spencer Rattler got benched in this game because Spencer Rattler played. He had a pick where, he couldn't really feather it over. You maybe want to see him sidearm that, but I mean, you got a 6'6" defensive end barreling down on you. You're trying to make a play. Guy tips it, catches it, runs it in for a touchdown, right? And the early fumble, I mean, the defense showed up, prevented points. Just ran up on behind, tucked the ball, just didn't put two hands on it. So, you look at the stat line though, and did Tyler Shugg really play any better? No, right? Like Tyler Shugg, 4.3 average, 17 for 30, 128 yards in a pick. Okay. Spencer Rattler, 15 to 21, 136 yards, 6.5 per average in a pick. The rating's better for Spencer Rattler. The yards per attempt are better for Spencer Rattler. And at the end of the day, this team is not good, but your quarterback is still Spencer Rattler. There's no reason to believe that Spencer Rattler is not your quarterback. And the last two games haven't been great, right? We saw him have probably one of his worst games as a starter against the Bears, where that Bears defense really balled out. But, this game against a Bucs team that's 6-2, leading the division, is going to be a playoff team, probably competing for the number one seed in the NFC. Let's be fair. What did you expect? Granted, they're without most of their starters on the offensive side of the ball. I think, Tez Johnson was their leading receiver, 5 receptions, 43 yards. They only ran for 88 yards on the day, and Baker Mayfield only had 152 yards passing. I get it. Spencer Rattler's still the guy in New Orleans. And if he's not, if you go with Tyler Shugg, if I'm a team that has questions at quarterback and needs a quarterback, and Tyler Shugg's now the guy, brother, I'm calling New Orleans. Because Spencer Rattler has shown time and time again that he can push the ball down the field really well. He can find those intermediate routes. He can move the chains with his legs, right? Reads the defense pretty well. He's just a short guy, and that's what you live with. Tip passes. We all know it. So, yeah, if Spencer Rattler is suddenly the backup to Tyler Shugg, if your team needs a quarterback, call New Orleans. Because Spencer Rattler can be a starter in this league and should be the future for the Saints. But if they don't want him, someone else does.
I mean, I don't really I don't want to be disrespectful. Spencer Rattler's a fine young man, but geez, bro, let's just call it what it is.
You watched the game.
This is the worst QB situation in football right now. It is.
I thought you said it was Minnesota.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
I said sneakily one of the
sneakily. This one's apparently in your face the worst.
I said sneakily one of the worst. Now I didn't say the worst. I have it on my notes here. Hold on.
I think the Jets is probably up there too. Hold on. The Jets is up there. I got it. No, don't get out put the notebook away, man. Put the giant ass notebook away.
I got it. Yeah.
Friggin' right.
He says.
I got it. I wrote it down.
That shit with a Sharpie.
Yeah. Just pull out my pen just to confirm it. Underline it too. No, it's a terrible QB situation, man. But we knew that entering the year. We knew that. We knew Spencer Rattler was not the guy. I knew that. Okay, maybe Joe doesn't, but I knew that. I knew that Tyler Shugg wasn't going to be the guy. I knew. Look, I said give Spencer Rattler a year just to give him a year. He didn't end the year off bad last year. But in my heart of hearts, and I believe in everybody's heart of hearts, Spencer Rattler was never going to be the guy. He was impressive, but we need a longer track record of excellence. You know what I mean? And Spencer Rattler really didn't have that much excellence. You know what I mean, Joe? Just not
Get him,
much.
Joe. Get him. Get him, Joe.
Yeah, I'll take my quarterback advice from someone who hasn't been hyping Tua for the last 3.5 years. So we'll move on to a different game. I don't think it's important to talk about this.
Hold on. I
Will your Tua funk pop up, bro, and rub his head some more.
Hold on. I got you right now. Let's go ahead. Let you want to go band for band? Let's go ahead and go band for band. I guess we will. You can pull up Spencer Rattler's stats. We could pull it up. I didn't want to do this to the kid. I really didn't. But I guess we are. Hold on. Where are you, Sports Reference? Because I can't wait to pull this.
What stats you want for the year?
Hold on. We're gonna go the first 3 years of their career. We're gonna go the first 3 years of their career, or first 2 years of their career, rather. And we're gonna compare. And why am I so slow right now?
I'm first 3 years on a Dolphins roster that was loaded against Spencer Rattler coming to the shambling.
Hold on, no, I'm talking about their first 2 years. I'm talking about their first 2 years. I'm talking about their first 2 years. Pay attention. The first 2 years. That means Brian Flores. So Tua only started 9 games, correct? He started 9 games. He had, I believe, 11 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. So not great. Not great. And then in his second year, Tua, 16 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Mind you, he did not have a single receiver as good as Chris Olave and the worst offensive line in football. I can guarantee you that. Okay? Then he finally got weapons, and maybe Spencer Rattler's missing an elite weapon. But look, Chris Olave it's not like Chris Olave is a terrible wide receiver one, okay?
He's not a good
Malcolm
one.
Perry was running routes. Do you know who Malcolm Perry is? Do you guys know Jakeem Grant? Jakeem
Grant was nice. Malcolm Perry went to Navy, didn't he?
Matt, as a punt returner.
And a gadget guy. You can give him like a jet sweep.
Look. I don't want to be disrespectful to Spencer Rattler. I don't. He was a second-round pick. It's okay to temper our expectations for a second-round pick.
Fifth-round pick.
Fifth-round pick. I apologize. He was a fifth-round pick. I'm thinking of another QB. I think
Tyler Shuck probably is who you're thinking of.
Yeah. I was thinking of Tyler Shuck. That's what it was. He's a fifth-round pick. It's okay not to expect that from him. Okay? But if we're going to do this comparison with Tua Tagovailoa, which I don't want to do, Joe, I don't want to do it, by the way. I don't want to do this. Let's not do it, please. This is a waste of time. Tua showed way more flashes, in my opinion, than what like Spencer Rattler should been showing so far.
Okay. So you don't want to talk about it, right? So we're about halfway through the season, right? Halfway through this season.
Go ahead.
So Spencer Rattler's on pace to, in his second season, outplay Tua Tagovailoa through a full slate of games. He played 7 fewer games than Tua did in his first, or he played 3 fewer games than Tua did in his first year, right? If I go to his first year, played 3 fewer games and only missed out on Tua by 400 yards. The completion percentage, Tua's got him beat, and touchdown and INT ratio, he's got him beat. I'll give you that. But you know what? In his second year where he took a leap, he's going to outplay Tua. So, yeah, I'm sorry, but if you had Spencer Rattler and you play a lesser quarterback for him and you have another team that wants a quarterback, Spencer Rattler can start in this league. He is a starting quarterback.
All right, Joe, you got it, man. You got it.
We gotta move on.
I want to say something so bad, but like it's just we're about to have a Tua and Spencer Rattler debate, and I don't want to do that.
Right. We're about to have the most mid-quarterback debate of the 2025 season.
Yeah, I remember we used to do that all the time. We would talk about like Derek Carr and Kirk Cousins. Like, what are we doing? Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, why are we talking about these freaking mid-ass quarterbacks?
I got a family to be. I got a dad that wants to watch a football.
Unbelievable.
Game,
But listen, we haven't talked about, and it's a game that is about to happen here in about 10 minutes. It's revenge season, ladies and gentlemen. It's Aaron Rodgers against his former team, the Green Bay Packers. It's Packers at Steelers, the 4-1-1 Packers, the 4-2 Steelers on Sunday Night Football. And in my opinion, Aaron Rodgers' revenge game is gonna go like shit. The Packers are gonna absolutely demolish the Steelers in this game because I don't think the Steelers are a good football team. I don't care they're 4-2. I'm not a record merchant. Okay. I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers are a good football team. And we talked about it earlier. The Baltimore Ravens starting to get healthier. The defense starting to get healthier. Lamar Jackson might be back next week. I'm telling you, Steelers, watch out. You got the Ravens coming from behind. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about this Sunday Night Football game? Do you think Rodgers gets his revenge, or is this going to be overplayed and the Packers get a big win here?
I don't see how Aaron Rodgers is going to get his revenge against this defense. I just don't. The offense for Jordan Love is getting healthy. I think that, if I had to look at this from a tight end perspective, the Packers have a better tight end. If I had to look at it from a wide receiver perspective, I mean, DK Metcalf is really good, but the overall wide receiver core in Green Bay is better. You look at it from the quarterback position, what you see right now, they're pretty comparable. I mean, but I would trust Jordan Love over Aaron Rodgers right now. I don't see a way, even with, this Pittsburgh defense playing at home in Pittsburgh. I think this game's going to be closer than a lot of people would think it was going to be, but I'm still going to take the Packers. I really think the Packers get it and just lock this down. And it's just going to be too much for Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers offense to overcome.
I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a close game. But I do evidently think that Pittsburgh's offensive line won't have an answer for Micah Parsons. And I think Micah Parsons is going to be the difference in this game. I think what's underrated, what's going under the radar is Green Bay's wide receiving room has not found the wide receiver yet. Matthew Golden has not exploded as I believe is a first round pick wide receiver that we all thought he would be. We still haven't seen anything really from Dontavian Wicks. We haven't seen anything from Christian Watson, but Christian Watson's been injured given. We haven't seen anything from any wide receiver. Tucker Kraft has shown flashes. Granted, Tucker Kraft has shown like he could really separate himself as a
Romeo
target.
Doubs too has been solid of late.
Exactly. I was going to mention him in a second, but like
Christian Watson's back tonight.
Yeah, I mean, there's no answer right now at receiver for Jordan Love, and I think the Steelers are going to have. For that reason, I think that's why the Steelers defense is going to make it close. I think we're going to get a relatively low scoring game. I think this is going to be in the back alley of what Pittsburgh wants. However, I do think that the Packers are going to come out with the win. I think the Packers defense is still a top 5 defense, still a unit that I think is going to finish top 5. I think the Packers get it done. I think it's close. I think it's ugly, but they win.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I don't think it's going to go well for Aaron Rodgers tonight. I'm not a big believer in this offensive line. And this passing game, to me, has been a little bit overrated. It's been a lot of quick game type things for Aaron Rodgers in this passing game. I think the Packers defense is going to find a way to throw the timing off to get after these Steelers wide receivers, screw up some timing. And like I said, I think it's going to be ugly here today for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I also do want to talk about this Monday Night Football game. It's Commanders and it's Chiefs, and I think this one is also going to be ugly, ladies and gentlemen, because these Washington Commanders, even though they're getting Terry McLaurin and Deebo Samuel back, those are 2 big additions, they're missing their quarterback. Jaden Daniels isn't going to be there with a hamstring injury. It's going to be Marcus Mariota, and this Chiefs team seems to have just been finding its stride week after week after week. It's getting better and better and better. They're 11.5-point favorites at home in this game against the Washington Commanders. That is a huge number for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they covered that number. I think the Chiefs are going to run away with this one on Monday night. Fellas, what do you think? Monday Night Football, Chiefs and Commanders, what are you thinking?
Yeah, if Jaden Daniels were playing, I would have given the Commanders a much better shot. But right now, I think the Chiefs offense is clicking at the right time. I think we're getting some incredible play, an MVP play from Patrick Mahomes. And overall, I think the Chiefs that we know and hate are back. And I think that and I think because of that, I think they win this game comfortably. I think there's a discussion to be had about Jaden Daniels not staying healthy this year. I hope that this isn't the start.
Concerning.
I hope that this isn't a start of a trend for his career. I really don't. I really don't want to even speak that at all, if I'm being honest, but I just did. So hope that nothing happens to him from here on out. But overall, I think the Marcus Mariota is going to get pressure. I think he's going to turn the ball over. I think the Chiefs win comfortably here.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that Jaden Daniels is dealing with this. I think that, if the smart thing right now, don't rush him out there. There's no reason to rush your franchise out there, the future of your franchise out there before he's healthy. Let him heal up, right? Like you gain nothing by rushing him out there. And everyone, I've seen a lot, even Daniel's mother has come out and said that she's seen a lot of the comparisons too, with RG3, right? Similar styles of play, similar mobility. A lot of people have done the comparison, and people have spoken it into existence, sort of thing. So you put it out there in the universe, and the universe is responding like, sure, he's the same thing. So I'm not going to say that he's not RG3. This is not the same thing. This is nowhere near as concerning. And I think that, if you're an intelligent organization, which I believe that the new ownership there in Washington is, you just let the kid sit till he's 100% healthy, till you know for sure. You gain nothing by rushing him out there. That being said, you've not only is he on the shelf, you also have your leading sacker and Armstrong on IR. There's just not a lot going for them. They have all their offensive weapons, but it's not going to be enough with sub quarterback play. And we all know Marcus Mariota, that's sub quarterback play at its finest. You know what you're getting. It's mediocrity, but at the same time, at least that he's going to give you at least competent quarterback play. If I had to choose between him and Carson Wentz, I'm taking Marcus Mariota every single day, just so we're clear. He's not that bad. But at the same time, he's not Jaden Daniels when he's perfectly healthy, or even Jaden Daniels when he's partially healthy. Marcus Mariota is backup quarterback, and that is why they're going to lose this game.
Sub quarterback plays finest, bro. Jeez,
that was pretty disrespectful, but also pretty accurate, actually.
Pretty
accurate.
It's about
pretty disrespectful and pretty accurate.
I mean, respect the former Heisman, man. Oh man,
he's another one. Who knows? Maybe you get him into the right situation that he has a resurgence at some point. I'm not betting on that one, but
different situations, Matt. I don't think.
Maybe, give him to Minnesota. See if Kevin O'Connell can do something with him. Maybe that'll work. But who knows? But I mean, like you guys mentioned, Jaden Daniels, I am concerned about, because we saw it in college. His play style, we saw all those crazy hits that he was taking in college. They were comparing him to the Looney Tunes, all those crazy, insane flips, and he would just get speared by guys and this and that. Like Jaden Daniels has to find a way to limit the contact that he's taking, because he's taking a lot of unnecessary hits, and it's something that we did see, like you talked about, Joe. We did see that with RG3 as well, and it's something that he couldn't ever figure out, and he just had too many injuries to overcome. So obviously Daniels hasn't had any serious injuries yet, and I'm going to knock on wood for him that he continues to have no serious injuries throughout the rest of his career, but he does need to switch up his play style a little bit in order to sustain a longer career. But ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Okay. Thank you guys for being with us. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys. If you guys for some reason enjoyed that random Tua versus Spencer Rattler discussion, if you guys enjoyed that at all, drop us a subscribe to the channel, drop us a like. Yeah, I don't think anybody enjoyed that. I was personally over here.
I didn't want to do it, man.
It was bad YouTube. That was just bad YouTube right there. That Spencer Rattler and Tua Tagovailoa discussion that we're just going to completely speed past and hopefully forget ever existed in the history of this channel. But again, thank you guys for watching. Again, like, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this, and we will catch